Well, hello, and welcome to a radio show from Wesley Fryer. This is my first radio show to actually record on a Samsung Chromebook, and one of the great things about radio shows is that you can produce them with a variety of different technology tools. I will be leading a workshop next week in Florida where some teachers will have iPads, some will have Windows 8 tablets, and some will have Chromebooks. So radio show is one of the products in the mapping media to the Common Core framework. And I'd like to just talk real quick in this radio show about how they can help student assessment. You know, there are a variety of different ways we can assess student learning, and in the traditional classroom we tend to think about paper and pencil, but as we have digital devices in our hands and in the hands of our students, those tools can open up more options to have a bigger menu of how we assess student learning. Now, when students are asked to represent something on paper and pencil, of course they are taking a lot of standardized tests these days. But they can also write essays, and they, can use writing as a way of showing what they know. One of the great things about radio shows is that it enables students to, as they would in an essay, reflect what they understand and what they know about a topic, but also practice their oral communication skills. And one of the important parts of the Common Core standards is an emphasis on communication, and specifically oral communication. How do students get better at oral communication? They have to practice. And simply recording our voices as we speak and present ideas, and then listening to them and, having that opportunity to hear ourselves can be a very effective way to become more aware of what we do and what some of our idiosyncrasies might be when we are presenting orally, and also get better. Radio shows can be used to assess a wide variety of different content areas, and many students are better oral communicators than they are written communicators. This doesn't mean that we can and should bypass the writing process. In fact, the more planning and outlining and preparation that students will do prior to a radio show, just like a written essay, the better their final product is going to be. And so that storyboarding and preparation process can look very similar for a radio show to what we might do typically with a writing assignment, except instead of producing a written work, we're going to be producing a work that is an audio show. So I really encourage you to take a look at radio shows. If you Google mapping media, you will hopefully find the website Mapping Media to the Common Core. Right now it shows up first in both Google and Bing searches, which I think is pretty awesome. You can click the link for radio shows. And whether your students have an iOS device like an iPad, an iPod Touch, an iPhone, they have a Chromebook, or they've got some other kind of laptop like a Windows laptop or a Mac laptop, or students have a Windows RT tablet. The radio show is something you can do. I will admit I have not yet had an opportunity to test the Spreaker website on an Android tablet. However, there's an app, I guess, so I don't really need to test it. There's an app for that. There is, in addition to for iOS, there is an Android app. So Spreaker should work on those platforms as well. So you don't have to use Spreaker. There are different tools that you can use. But as I do workshops, like I'll do next week, it's wonderful to have a common platform that folks can use. And we probably will even use a common login, a common account. And I've done that a lot with AudioBoo. And the advantage of having that common account is, teachers in a workshop or students in a class, they don't have to create separate accounts. Depending upon your context, that can be important. But anyway, I hope this has helped you think a little bit more about how student radio shows can help assessment as we have students taking on the role of being the teacher, being the explainer, being the one who articulates, some of the most important points and elements in a particular concept, or summarizing a lecture or a chapter in the book. That process can really provide a great window into student learning. I'll send a shout out to Darren Kerpatwa, who, as a pre-calculus and calculus teacher in Winnipeg, Manitoba, several years ago, started having his students create what he called a scribe blog, which was a way that students would use a blog and writing to summarize what they had been learning for the day. In my own dissertation research that I did with health classes for freshmen at the University of Central Oklahoma, I had students use audio, and we used a website which is now no longer sadly available, but it was called Gabcast, and students were able to use their phone to make what's called a phone cast in summarizing audio. And the radio show can be used in that same way, but it's also exciting and more engaging to make it fun and actually do it like a radio show. So check out the resources that are available on the radio show page of Mapping Media. I'd love to hear from you. You can contact me most directly by using Twitter. My ID is WFryer, W-F-R-Y-E-R, or you can simply Google my name, Wes Fryer, and you'll find my website, wesfryer.com. You can click the contact link, and there are a variety of ways, including an electronic form you can submit that you can contact me. So, good luck creating radio shows. Please be brave, be courageous. Take a step out and create a radio show, and then consider how your students can create a radio show as a way of demonstrating what they understand and what they know about a different topic. And when they do, I hope you'll share it with me and with others so that we can be inspired by your work and the work of your students. Thanks, and make it a great day.